Okay, so I've been, watching I was kind of asleep for the Q&A, so I wasn't able to make it, but it's fine because, most of it was streamed, I'm pretty sure. But I'm pretty sure most of the good stuff, you know, um, has been said. Um, Kind of wrote a whole page of just like writing down stuff while watching. So I'm gonna just, try to make a quick 10-minute video, go over all the important stuff. Um, yeah. So, first of all, the owner specifies himself that the game is driven by the player base. So, like, it revolves around everyone's actions throughout, like, the lifespan of the game. The game is permadeath, but it's not like a huge factor. Um, Pretty sure later in the stream he said that, um, it's called life force, and as like as you die, it'll slowly go down, and if you run out, you wipe. Which I'm assuming is that like the little percentage in the middle of their bars. And there are live events. I predicted it. Like, what can I say? I'm actually a genius. So they say that Veilbound will be free to play, and that like it's not gonna be that type of closed community where like pretty much random people can get let in at just like a chance. It's basically just like a testing phase. So, really, I don't think it's gonna be a while till really any of us common people play. He says, Riptide says, which is I'm pretty sure he's like the lead dev or one of the devs, he's one of the devs. He says that it's mainly just like close friends in the community. So the game is very survival orientated, and there are going to be seasons and weather, and you're going to have to prepare for it because supplies, and you can run out of stuff. So if you don't prepare, you might wipe or something, or you might just like have like a punishment. I'm pretty sure depending on, I don't know, but he said like the month in game, I forgot what it was called, but it was like some fancy little name or something. Pretty sure at the time of the Q&A, it's like spring or something. It's like spring or summer. Riptide also says that progression will be based on like how your character has evolved. So I'm assuming stuff like, like your achievements, what you have done in the game, it will progress you forward. So, like if you do bigger, greater stuff, then you'll progress more. Another thing about progression, there's pretty much like you can kind of go any route or like any type of progression you want. You could do PvE, PvP, or like have some like civilian type of life. There's always, they say a lot that there's like the smaller type of classes, and there's going to be a dynamic economy. So like depending on the like town or area, there will be different prices, and the towns and economy can like fluctuate or collapse depending on the dominances. So it can support an economy, and areas will have their own like economies and stuff. And there's also going to be different languages, which you can buy a dictionary from like certain areas to learn that language, and you're gonna have to like read it. I don't know if you're actually gonna have to like read it, or like just like kind of like get a book, open it, and then learn it. So there are gonna be guilds, which I'm pretty sure he says that there's gonna be a cap of 15 players unless it's a faction, and a faction is like a lore oriented version of a guild. So it will be uncapped, and you're gonna have to roleplay if you're in it, and there's gonna be, you're gonna be integrated into the lore. Into races, so Riptide says that there's gonna be races. Well, we know there's races obviously, but there's like races will have their own stuff, but it won't be like completely game changing. Like it'll be handy or like, nice to have, but it's not gonna be like game changing or anything like super big. So it's not gonna be pay to win. There are stat points that can affect your build, he says, but the gatekeeping, he didn't really go much into it, so there's not much we know. There are stat points that affect your build. We don't know what kind or like what they do, but they do affect your build, and yeah, we don't have much knowledge on that. And to its own extent, there are classes, but again, not much information. And around the middle of the stream, or like 10 minutes in or something, they do a quick 1v1, so I'll just show that real quick.
In your count?
I'll run it.
Whoa, bro, flew at me.
Damn.
Ooh, that's a nice kick.
A little laggy. Ooh.
Oh,
What I learned from that fight is that there are going to be aerials, blocking, kicking, and maybe like perfect blocking or parrying. So aerials obviously are just like, I'm assuming, jumping. Well, from when he's like at the start, he kind of like dashed towards him and like did a little aerial. And so blocking, you can obviously, there's like a little circle, which I'm assuming is like going to be your block bar. It's kind of like in your character. So, and blocking can be counteracted by kicking, I'm pretty sure. So, as a way to like kind of stop people from just holding block and like, taking that advantage. Yeah. That also says that if you're skilled enough, you can pretty much win any fight with any weapon. And onto weapons can be crafted. High tier weapons can be crafted. I'm pretty sure he says that you can make weapons with the materials you have. And weapons can be found, so maybe there's some like type of artifact weapons. You might see some of those. Yeah, that's pretty much all we know about weapons. There's a lot of different weapon types, he says. A bunch of different weapon types. Yeah. And Riptide also says that the map is huge. There will be fast traveling for convenience, but you can't like run away with it or like avoid things with it or something. That's what he says. And I don't know if I've seen a game do this before, but there are obtainable titles. So, not only lore characters getting titles, huge W. Finally, some drip to names. There are professions, like farming, like lumberjack and stuff. He said that he might make it so they can give you like sub skills. So yeah, also one thing about Permadeath and Life Force, you can regain it if you just play long enough. For now at least. World events are things that can be caused by, if two opposing factions like are kind of like around each other, and if like the right requirements meet or something, and it will like kind of like cast a vote and see if the people actually want to do it. There will be like maps, like you can like open a map and you have to collect like the parts of maps from key areas, he says, and they'll show like certain parts, so you have to kind of like slowly collect the map. It won't show you where you are, but you can use it as a reference. And probably the last thing, there is magic and lots of different types and uses. There's utility, combat, mobility, like you can use it to like kind of like conjure an element into your weapon, That's like a spell, I'm pretty sure Riptide says. And yeah, there's also a school for magic. They call it the university. So, you know, you could go there if you wanna like learn magic or something. Okay, final thing. Stamina is gonna be super punishing in combat. So, you know, running is gonna be hard. And the more movement and mobility you do, the faster your stamina drains. So, yeah, I might, you know, like, see if I can get more information. Maybe, like, make a part 2 or something, but this should be, you know, pretty good for now. I think that's it. I'll see you guys, I don't know, next Veilbound episode or something. Yeah, very promising look into the game. Go support the game, obviously. Watch the Q&A, I'll link that. Yeah. As always, have a good day.